Well, it's my last morning as we leave the Swan behind and the Tudor House Fine English Butchers. You'll join me at the Apple Orchard, one of the oldest buildings in West Wycombe, and you're going to join me for morning coffee in a really charming little tucked away haven. And we shall go. You walk through its original cobbled courtyard. There is a shop which isn't open at the moment. It's lovely here, it really is nice. And you go around this way, up these stairs, and it takes you to a lovely little coffee place. And you'll join me for coffee in a minute. Hiya. How gorgeous is this, eh? And in the words of King Edward, the son of Henry VIII, "She is the rudest lady." That woman in there, it's like, well, don't know what her problem was, but yeah, I certainly won't be drinking in that one again, that's for sure. No entry up or down the stairs. Certainly a gorgeous little place, isn't it, eh? Look at its old brick fireplace, look. And its original beams. And the view outside of the Tudor Butchers. That's private up there, so that's obviously where people live. Empire, Newton, Lambourne. The rooms are named. Yeah, join me outside. I don't usually use the word charming in a serious sense. Normally I'll go, oh, that's charming, charming. But this really is charming. It's gorgeous. I have me my cappuccino, which I may say, having had one the other day, already pre-asked if I could film. Oops, they said yes. So, now this you will like. Whether it's genuine or not, they don't know. It's 1692. W-A-T, the initials, and there are coats of arms on it. The coats of arms is there. I don't think it's an old thing. unless it's been adapted. I mean, they did have lead cisterns like this years ago. Up these stairs into little yonder garden there, and this is the secret garden. So called because it is a garden and it is fairly secretive. The old flint and ragstone walls, but they've seen some life. Now, when we were at the plough, and I said to you about the original path that went through, this is one that's pretty much uninterrupted, apart from these modern buildings there. These used to lead all the way through, and that's how apparently Sir Francis Dashwood and other members of the Hellfire Club would get to and from the caves without having to trek all the way to the end of the road and up the fairly steep hill. Although they probably would have had servants to do that for them. Anyway, ladies and gentle personages, I am going to go and sit somewhere in the shade because it's very warm. We'll catch these lovely roses first. At the end of this we'll feature some historical images of this place and some images, public domain ones that I've been given permission to share, and historic images of one of my favourite buildings just further down the road, more or less opposite where I've been staying at the George. So that's what you'll see at the end of this, and I hope you've all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And for our historic look back on this one, here you see the butcher, Mr. Weller, standing outside his butcher's shop in circa 1900. The Weller family owned the apple orchard and the shop next door. One was the butcher's and one was the grocer's and baker's, as we're going to see next. But I thought this was a lovely thing to start off with, a nice close-up image of Mr. Weller outside his butcher's shop. And here we see from this 1905 image the Weller family. One side was the butcher's to the left, and the other side to the right was the grocer's and baker's. Lovely old image this, and shows a bygone era. It really does. Different world. Look at all the old tins and cans and everything in the grocer's shop window, and a proper butcher's shop in those days. Note the little dog as well. The shop was originally split in two, serving as both a grocer's and butcher's shop, as you can see from this image. It still has many of its original 17th century features, including low ceilings with their classic beams. From the front of the shop you can still see both of the doors that used to belong to the two separate establishments. This image from the late 1920s to 1930s shows it, and by this time it has become, rather than two separate businesses of a butcher's and grocer's, it has become the apple orchard, which specialised in teas and luncheons. 1930s, a much clearer image, apple orchard clearly marked and signed, over to the right of a nice old car outside. I really like this image. This is one of the ones from inside, and if you go into the apple orchard you'll see many old images and prints and things like that hanging up. And this is the apple orchard by Fred Rowe, and he drew it on the 16th of July 1931. 1954 for our next image, and by this point you can clearly see the apple orchard sign with its luncheons and teas. 1955 for this image, an antique shop next to the apple orchard at this time. And I did say that at the end of this video there would be a feature on one of my favourite buildings in West Wycombe, and as the little write-up said in our tour of this one, I have decided to devote a separate video to that. So that will be the next one you see, and that will be our last piece of West Wycombe content. Hope you all enjoyed this, and hope you're all going to enjoy that.